What's up, sports fans? This is the Lucas Ross Sports Channel. We continue with our 2023 college football predictions for the 2023 college football season. Up next are the UCF Knights, a team coming off a 9-5 season in 2022. It was a really good season last year for this UCF team. They went to the American Athletic Championship game, lost to Tulane, though, in a close one. Now UCF is now heading to the Big 12 in 2023. They're one of the newcomers. Out of the four newcomers in the 2023 Big 12 season, I kind of expect UCF to be a pretty good team this year. My thoughts on this team for 2023, I think they're going to be really good. Like I just mentioned, I think they're going to be competitive in their first year in the Big 12. I think this team has what it takes to be a dark horse contender in the Big 12 as well. And I'm very high on this team. If you look at the overall production coming back for this team, it may not seem like a lot, but this team does have talent on both sides of the football. The overall returning production for this team is about 66%. So that may not seem like a really good production percentage, but I think it is for UCF. Like I said, they have a really lot of talent on this roster that they have. You look at the schedule for UCF this year, they'll play Kent State, Boise State, and Villanova in the non-conference. They'll play Boise State out of the Mountain West on the road on September the 9th. That will be a tricky non-conference game there, but it should be a pretty good matchup. And you look at the Big 12 schedule, they'll play Kansas State on the road, and then Oklahoma on the road as well. Those are their toughest road games on that schedule. They also get Kansas on the road. That really isn't a tough place to play, but it will be a tricky matchup there. But the good thing is no Texas on the schedule. I mean, that's the only good news. You also got no TCU on the schedule, so that's the good news for UCF. And like I said, I think the schedule really sets up nicely for UCF to have a really good season in their first year in the Big 12. Well, let's see how they do in their first year in the Big 12. Let's go game by game now and give you an official prediction for this UCF team. So they kick things off here on August 31st against Kent State here at home on August 31st. I kind of expect UCF to win this one big. I really don't see them having any problems whatsoever here against Kent State, and I think they win that game pretty easily to start out 1-0 for 2023. Then it's Boise State on the road here on September 9th. Big non-conference matchup here, the Mountain West versus the Big 12. Boise State's a team that, has kind of been up and down now the last couple years. I think they're still the top team in the Mountain West, though. I mean, you got this team that's really good every single year, it seems like, and I think this will be a tough road game. I think this is definitely going to be a tough road game here for UCF to win. It is on the road. It's going to be a very tough place to play. Boise State's been always the top team in the Mountain West, but I think UCF has the better overall talent here. Like, they have the better talent and the better roster in this game against the Boise State Mustangs. And I think UCF escapes Boise State in a low-scoring type game, and I think they get a close win here over Boise State here on the road on September 9th. I got them starting out 2-0. Then it's Villanova at home on September 16th. I don't expect Villanova to be a really tricky matchup here for UCF, but it's a non-conference game. You never know what can happen here against a Group of 5 team like Villanova, but I think UCF will win pretty easily, and I think UCF starts out 3-0. Then they'll open up Big 12 play on the road at Kansas State on September 23rd. Kansas State, the team that won it all last year in the Big 12, winning the Big 12 championship. I kind of expect the Wildcats to be really good this year. UCF, I think, will compete in this game, maybe in the first half, but second half, I think the Wildcats will pull away. I just think Kansas State has way too much talent on their roster, and I don't think UCF has really what it takes to defeat Kansas State on the road. That will be a tough one there. So I got UCF losing their first game of the season here on the road at Kansas State. That puts their record at 3-1. So they lose their first Big 12 game of the year. Then they'll play Baylor at home on September 30th. That's their next game. I think both of these teams are pretty similar in returning production this year. You got Baylor, that was an up-and-down team last year. They kind of coming off a disappointing season. I kind of expect Baylor to be a lot better than they were last year, more competitive this year as well in the Big 12. This is a home game, though, for UCF. This is a tough one to call. I think it's going to be a low-scoring type game here between these two teams. End of the day, though, home field advantage does belong to the Knights here, and I think UCF wins their first Big 12 game here at home against Baylor on September 30th. So they get their first ever Big 12 win here, I believe, on September 30th. And I think UCF improves to 4-1 with a win over Baylor. Then they'll get to the month of October. They'll play Kansas on the road here on October 7th. And this is a team that's returning a lot of production from last year's team. I think these are the most experienced teams in the Big 12 this year. A lot of people are saying that the Jayhawks and the Knights both have the most experienced returning production back for the Big 12 this year. I don't think that's the case, but I think UCF is right up there in the top, 5 at least in returning production. I kind of expect a shootout here between these two teams. You got two great quarterbacks going at it with Miles Plumlee and Jalen Daniels here. I think Kansas is going to be a pretty good team this year. This is a tough one. It's kind of similar to the Baylor game, but I think this game is a shootout. I think it's going to go into a shootout, but at the end of the day, the Jayhawks at home get it done, and I think Kansas gives UCF their second loss of the season. So I got UCF falling to 4-2, and they get a bye week after that Kansas game. They'll play Oklahoma on the road here on October 21st. A lot of storylines here between the Sooners and the Knights. You got Oklahoma with a former UCF quarterback with Dylan Gabriel. He's back this year for this Oklahoma offense. I think Oklahoma's offense is going to be pretty explosive this year. I think with the arm talent of Dylan Gabriel, like how he used to do it at UCF, I think this Oklahoma offense is going to be really explosive. Defensively, I'm kind of concerned on that side of the football for Oklahoma, but maybe they're still good on that side of the football. I kind of expect a shootout here between these two teams. This is a tough place to play, though, here for UCF. I think the game is close in the first half, but second half, the Sooners will pull away, and I think Dylan Gabriel steps up against his former team here. And this is also a pretty emotional game here for UCF as well, going up against their former quarterback. So I think Oklahoma will win that one and pulling away in the second half. So I got UCF losing 2 straight on back-to-back road games here. That puts their record at 4-3. Then they'll play West Virginia here at home on October 28th. West Virginia is a team I don't expect to be all that bad this year. I don't think they're a dark horse contender in the Big 12, but I think this is at least a West Virginia team that can make it to a bowl game. UCF is kind of desperate for a win at this point after a 2-game losing streak, both of them being on the road, and I think being back at home will really motivate them in this game against West Virginia. So in a close game, I think UCF will win this one at home against West Virginia and get their second win in the Big 12 for the 2023 season, and I think UCF improves to 5-3 with a win over West Virginia. Then they'll play Cincinnati here on November 4th to get to the month of November. This game is on the road. Cincinnati is a team that we just did their prediction yesterday. You can go back and watch that video. It will be the link in the description or also at the end of this video as well. Cincinnati is a team that I kind of expect to still be pretty good this year. I don't think they're all going to be that bad. I think this is still a Cincinnati team that can make it to a bowl game. Who's the better team here, though? I think UCF is the better overall roster. Let's say, though, UCF was ranked in the top 25 by this point, which I don't think they will be. I think this is definitely one of those upset alert type games. I think Cincinnati playing at home, and obviously this is a tough game to call every single year between UCF and Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati gets it done. I think Cincinnati wins it here in a close one. Like I said in yesterday's video, I think it will be a close game, and I think Cincinnati, though, playing at home does get it done. So I think UCF will lose on the road at Cincinnati here, and I got them falling to 5-4. Then they'll play Oklahoma State at home on November 11th. Oklahoma State's a team, like I said, been saying to them all year, they've lost a ton of guys in the transfer portal, and including their starting quarterback. Offensively is what I'm concerned about for the Cowboys this year. Defensively, I'm not too concerned about that position for Oklahoma State, but UCF playing at home, I think they're motivated after a really tough loss to Cincinnati, maybe a heartbreaking loss to Cincinnati the last week. They're motivated enough to come back home and defeat Oklahoma State here, and I got UCF getting to a bowl game with their 6th win here and getting their 3rd win in the Big 12 this year. So I got UCF winning that one, and then they improved to 6-4. Then it's Texas Tech on the road here on November 18th. Texas Tech is a team I'm kind of expecting it to be a top 25 team this year. I think this team is a dark horse contender, definitely in the Big 12. Their schedule is really tough. They do have to play Oregon in the non-conference, but this is a tough game here for UCF. It's on the road, but I kind of expect a shootout here since it is late in the month of November. End of the day, though, at Texas Tech, I think playing at home does get a win here. And it's a close game. It's a really close game at the end of the day, but I think UCF will come up short of a win here on the road at Texas Tech. So I think UCF falls to 6-5. Then they'll play Houston here on November 25th to end things out. Houston's got a lot of production coming back on the offensive side of the football. I kind of expect this Houston team to be really good on the offense. Defensively is kind of what I'm concerned about for Houston. It's kind of like similar to the Oklahoma State game. I'm kind of concerned about the offense for the Cowboys, and I'm not really too concerned about the defense. I'm not too concerned about the offense for Houston. Defense, though, is what I'm concerned about, and I think Houston's defense won't have what it takes to stop this UCF offense. We're scoring a lot of points. And I think UCF's offense is better by this time, and I think they grab a win here against Houston at home on November 25th. So I think UCF will win 4 Big 12 games in their first year of the Big 12 season, and I got them finishing with an overall record of 7-5 for 2023. I think that's a fair prediction for UCF. You look at this schedule, again, no Texas on the schedule, but tough road games with Kansas State, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Cincinnati and Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a pretty tough road game as well, but don't sleep on that non-conference game against Boise State. If they lose that game, they're going to go 6-6. If they win that game, they're going to go 7-5. But this team, it wouldn't really shock me if they went for 8-4 perhaps, but I think 7-5 is their prediction for 2023, and then the first year in the Big 12. Let me guys know what you think about UCF. What do you think their record is for 2023, and how do you think they'll do in their first year under the Big 12? Let me know down in the comments below, and stay tuned here for more sports content videos on my Lucas Ross Sports Channel.